Will you get out of here?
Well, we're going to have a meeting with Vladimir Putin.
Nick Fuentes, this child, this weird little gay kid.
You talk a lot of
I do.
Trump is meeting with Putin. And you know what that means, right? It's the symbolic handshake that explains one thing. The Epstein story, it's over. Buried. Good. And why? Because they've finally found what they've desperately been searching for. A new final boss for the distraction timeline. A single person whose perceived authenticity has caused the entire ecosystem of grifters, left, right, and center to unite in a shared shrieking panic. I'm talking about the gay kid from Chicago, Nick Fuentes. An angry gay kid from Chicago. And so I figured I dressed for the occasion. They thought it was an insult, but all they did was give fuel to the fire of the one archetype they can't control. The authentic kid who is completely done of their world of grifting and profitability off of lies. Lies! Lies! You're all liars. It started with the Candace Owens interview, a hostile grilling designed to corner him, but it failed spectacularly because when you're a truly authentic person, a gotcha clip doesn't really gotcha. It just gotcha. Get it, Candace? You got.
You still have a good relationship with your parents, and you went to Boston University. Everything's going great for you. You kind of should be, like you said, maybe offered a contributorship on Fox News, and your whole life kind of gets derailed.
Right.
Where I'm going to push back on you is to say that you didn't have this anger where you applied it to everyone. Because and I don't have this clip, but I know that recently, and this was after I was fired from the Daily Wire, you kind of went on the attack about me speaking to Dave Smith, right? And saying, actually, I think we do have that clip. Skylar, I think we do have that clip of me speaking to Dave Smith. Do you want to run that clip?
She has nothing to do with me. She wants nothing to do with me. Doesn't do anything with me. No invitation. Won't bring me on the space. Won't bring me on the show. No acknowledgement. Nothing. But she is going to do a show with Dave Smith, Jew, Aiden Ross. You know, and I like Aiden Ross. I've said that before. I like Aiden Ross. But it's like you get canceled and attacked by Jews, and then you go and give it away to all the Jews, really? And finally, Aiden asks her, so what are your thoughts on Nick Fuentes? And she gives this load of PC response. She goes, well, you know, when he was a kid, he got attacked by them, and I understand why he would be angry and why he would be mad about that, but he needs to grow up and figure out what he wants to do. Oh, really? Oh, really? Bafangul, Candace. Oh, he needs to figure out what he wants to do. I think you need to figure that out. Talk about accusing other people of that which you are guilty. I think he needs to figure out what he wants to do. I think you need to figure out what you want to do, because you're full of and everyone knows it. You clearly have no idea what you're doing.
No idea what I am doing.
True.
What do you mean true?
You didn't invite me on the show.
But what does that, just let's first go back to the first layer of what you're talking about. She's speaking to Dave Smith. Yeah. What does that have to do with anything? You call out the fact that I spoke to Dave Smith, that I spoke to Aiden Ross. I didn't speak to them because they were Jewish. I also talked to Piers Morgan, all of these shows following me being fired. So you're just looking at the fact that these two, I didn't even know Aiden Ross was Jewish. I just had a PR agent say, do this. I swear I didn't know.
He's visibly Jewish.
Okay, like,
Pretty sure Candace has a penis. Come sue me. I'm selling t-shirts. Help me out. Candace Owens is suing me for saying she had a penis.
And this lawsuit, we got an estimate this weekend from a legal team. It is going to cost us millions. I don't have that money. I really don't.
But I tell you, she does. She does buy my t-shirts. Buy my blackout book, racist white people t-shirts.
I got to tell you, like, the estimate that we got, and I want to be clear, this is if it goes all the way through. So they said, like, from start to finish, if they don't drop this at some point, blah, 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 here's how much it's going to cost you just to get through the deposition phase, here's how much it's going to cost you to go all the way through. And they are estimating $5 million. It's like a lot of money. And we do not have that money just laying around.
Because the year is 2020 and we write a book about race. Grifting.
I thought we could actually sell some t-shirts. I just picture people wearing this like at the grocery store, like walking by each other, and like, we know what it means, like hashtag free Emmanuel. It's like subtle enough. I really like this, free Emmanuel. You're going to see somebody wearing a t-shirt and be like, we know what's up. We know what's going on in France. Somebody rescue Emmanuel Macron. I'm not kidding. The estimate is millions of dollars.
You know, like the more you know, it's more like grifting. So when the ambush fails, you run to Dad, Tucker Carlson. And then she whines about how Nick Fuentes is a dishonest human being, and Tucker Carlson essentially exposes himself as a CIA agent.
And he's attacking my dad as a CIA, his dad's in the CIA or whatever. And I'm like, well, that's no, untrue. Then my father dies, and I learn, actually, yeah, was involved in that world. I was completely shocked by it. So no one has to believe me, but that's just a fact.
Right.
This was in March of this year. And so when I applied to CIA, and I've taken a lot of crap, including from Putin, like, oh, you're from a CIA family. Well, yeah, obviously my father worked in conjunction with CIA. I mean, that's what that is. And I tried to join the CIA.
He had a bunch of them. He ran the Voice of America for a long time, maybe 5 or 6 years. He was an ambassador in Africa, and then he ran something called the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
I mean, the guy who took out Mossadegh lived on my street. One of the Roosevelt CIA officer. So, I mean, again, I grew up around this stuff, but
That's why it's not happening.
But they seem to be doing so many other things. I mean, I applied to CIA. My dad worked with CIA. I was never against CIA. I thought only like dumb liberals were against CIA, and traitors or whatever. So my views on CIA have evolved based on things that I have seen and personally experienced.
You took a pretty well publicized trip with your father. Was it about 1.5 years ago? How long has it been?
Since we were in Pakistan.
Down to Nicaragua for the summer and work and, get involved in the war, and support the side that we thought was right.
Where you got left behind for a couple of days.
Oh, no, that was when I went to Vietnam with John McCain. Yeah, I had a hassle at the airport.
And are you still traveling with your father on trips?
We spent the summer in Nicaragua trying to get a sense of the war there, and all kinds of hilarity ensued. But
yourself, my father's a great guy to travel with, and very amusing and adventurous person who's up for anything. So I said, let's go to Pakistan. Okay.
And we have the internet to expose the lies. If this isn't 20 years ago when you were on CNN, and we couldn't expose things, we can expose it now, and they still do it.
Well, I guess I would ask myself, I lie. If I'm really cornered or something, I lie. I try never to lie on TV. I just don't, I don't like lying. I certainly do it, out of weakness or whatever.
What are you doing? You're worse than Fauci.
Tucker Carlson is a CIA agent. I'm getting called the Fed by someone whose dad was CIA royalty. I'm the Fed? Do you know what Fed means? Fed means federal agent. It's short for federal, meaning federal government, meaning you work for law enforcement or intelligence in the federal government. I am being called a federal agent by the son of Dick Carlson, who ran Voice of America, which is a propaganda outlet for the CIA. He was nominated by Ronald Reagan and confirmed by Congress. Dick Carlson is an international spy and diplomat who has given a speech in the Israeli Knesset, worked for the Hungarian embassy. Hungary's close allies with Israel. Tucker Carlson was in Nicaragua during Iran-Contras, during the Contras affair, which implicated Israel and the Reagan administration and the CIA, which his father worked for. Tucker Carlson applied for the CIA. Tucker Carlson followed his dad's footsteps and worked for cable news, first for CNN, then for Fox under Rupert Murdoch, who's friends with Netanyahu. And over the past year, Tucker's been conducting diplomacy, traveling to Buenos Aires, traveling to Qatar, to Saudi Arabia, all over the Middle East, doing what is effectively diplomacy on behalf of the United States, interviewing Vladimir Putin. Tucker says, he beams when he says this. He says, I grew up down the street from the CIA agent that overthrew Mossadegh, which is the president of Iran who was overthrown by the CIA.
And so all over X/Twitter, the Fed accusations explode. The grand alliance of clout chasers form. Elon, Tate, Candace, Milo, all feeding in to the proof that Nick Fuentes is a Fed. And how you say? Well, he wasn't arrested. And here's his January 6th court documents. But then Nick drops counter texts, apparently exposing the hypocrisy of Milo supporting him during the actual January 6th riots. It's a circular firing squad, but at the same time, let's take a look at their smoking gun. The January 6th video where Nick says something about taking the Capitol.
Moving towards the Capitol, it appears we are taking the Capitol. Keep marching and don't relax, never relax. Break down the barriers and disregard the police. You should live in fear of the American people.
And this is where I need to step in because there is a world of difference between inciting an action, let's go take the Capitol, and reporting on a chaotic action as it happens. We're taking the Capitol. As another kid from Chicago with a big mouth, I know exactly what kind of trap they were setting for these people that day. It's called the honeypot trap. While that was happening, I was in Key West reporting on illegal COVID lockdowns in Florida. Let me ask you this. How can Key West police disperse an entire island of rich, drunk fools who are not allowed to be out after midnight on New Year's Eve, but somehow the Capitol Police can't quell a protest on January 6th? It's bullshit, people. It's bullshit. Go watch Christmas in Florida. It's bullshit.
As he rode out of sight. Merry Christmas to all. And to all, a good night. What are you doing so far away?
It was a setup, a honeypot. And if you don't believe me, go watch my documentary, Christmas in Florida, currently available on Amazon Prime. They're probably going to pull it tonight. This isn't a theory. It's an observation from being on the ground. They need a common enemy to keep the distraction timeline running, and they need a honeypot to trap him in. But the authentic people, the real people, the artists are seeing right through this bullshit.
There's also the W word.
A new way of thinking. W thought. Become what you cannot say.
News, dissemination, power, livestock, 735, drop bombs, go.
Crisis. Nuclear crisis. Domestic. Cyber attack. Flooding event in Israel.
Sam Hyde has him on. Kanye West gets him into the White House. He's the man no one knows, but everyone claims is evil incarnate.
Interesting. Peter Thiel has like an enemies list of like 2 million people in Palantir.
Yeah.
And Palantir came in on the heels of Doge. Elon Musk brought Doge in to every department, to the IRS, the Treasury Department, education, the rest of it. And everyone that worked in Doge had also worked for Palantir. And so when Doge left, the Palantir people stayed. And what they're doing now is they're creating a master database that has your education records, health records, tax records, the Treasury Department's records. And they're going to be in one giant searchable database for this administration with a $150 billion budget for ICE that wants to take citizenship from people that criticize Israel. And that's what people voted for when they voted for Trump.
Meanwhile, on his platform, he's mocking would-be Hitlers and condemning racial violence.
If we are white, we will give up the white racist. I never said this, but many used to say, we will give up the white racist. We will sacrifice them because we condemn racism objectively, because objectively racism is wrong, and we as white people can recognize it's wrong, and it's a grievance against, or an offense against black people, and we condemn it, and we want to show that just because they're white, we're still going to do the right thing. We have gotten none of that in return. None of that in return. 30 years of white people policing ourselves, sacrificing even family members, reporting on family members, and it's gone so far in the other direction, and we're getting stabbed to death, and they celebrate. O.J. Simpson verdict, they celebrate. Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, they want to lie and pretend like, oh, they're just buying an Arizona iced tea. Oh, he's a gentle giant. Oh, St. Floyd, pray for us. For the burglars and the fentanyl addicts. We pray. I mean, really? So this was white people saying, you know what? Fuck you. You can't have, we will judge our own people in our own system. You can't have them. We're not turning over another white person to you because they said the wrong word. Fuck you. White people get stabbed to death and you say, oh, they had it coming. He was 17 years old. On a football field, they had an altercation. It's called teenagers. It happens. And they said, oh, we ain't no Rosa Parks no more. Hey, well, fuck you then. Fuck you. So we will give $700,000 to Shiloh Hendricks and the next person that says the N-word. Because it's just a word. Get over it and get over yourself. And I said this on Twitter. I said, look, this is why it's happening. This is tribalism. This is black people being loyal to each other. This is white people catching up. We're just getting hip. If black people are going to look out for black people, if Jews are going to look out for Jews, if Hispanics are going to look out for Hispanics, and Asians are going to look out for Asians, it's time for white people to look out for white people.
Joe Rogan just had on a sitting congressman and talked about the JFK files, the MLK files, the UFO files, the MK Ultra files, anything but Jeffrey Epstein. The old guard is terrified.
The problem is I've reached out to some of the biggest names in UFO lore, okay? And they all got skiff flu, and we call it skiff flu, meaning like the day that the skiff was open that we reserved it, we're like, we're here, like, come on, come brief us. They get sick or
and
their
they
dog
didn't recover
dies.
and come back?
They didn't recover, and then they just don't talk to us anymore. So
they ghost you?
They ghost us. Yeah, so I'm like, well, if you're not going to tell me to skiff, then you're full of crap.
The grifters are exposed. The groypers are here, Jordan Peterson. And so are the gay kids from Chicago. What are you going to do about it?
A house divided sent $25. Nick, you weak faggot.
Hey!
Stop asking for fan support while you grimace at our questions. You are Jesus Christ superstar rejecting the lepers.
Wow.
You aren't Christian from what I can tell.
Hey,
maybe
don't be a
convince
leper.
us otherwise. Look at the chat, they agree.
Fuck the chat. Fuck the chat and fuck you. Ask better questions. You don't want me to grimace? Don't be a fucking idiot, okay?